A beginner's guide series to harder content. This video is aimed at equipping the most anxious among us with a step-by-step guide to confidently getting their first clear, providing pre-positioning tips to limit the panic as much as possible. So the aim here is simplicity and not optimization. Before you start, you'll need to know your main spread position and whether you're group 1 or 2. Spread positions are specific spots each player will stand in for certain mechanics as shown in the diagram. They will often be highly visible within the game via coloured waymarkers, 1 to 4 and A to D. 4 players will also be assigned to Group 1 and 4 to Group 2. Each group will be assigned a side of the arena, e.g. Group 1 East and Group 2 West. In this fight, with this very useful waymarker placement, also take mental note of the colour of your waymarker and the second waymarker of the same colour. Starting checklist. Where is my spread spot? Am I group 1 or 2, and which side of the arena is for my group? Where's the other waymarker which is the same colour as mine? Now, onto the mechanics. Inferno. Raid wide, stay centre to get those heals. Purgation. Circles, symbols and ropes. As the circles are forming, position in the centre with your camera looking down to identify the centre starting ropes. The 1 or 2 ropes in the centre circle will indicate the starting point which the boss will ignite. A flame will follow its path to the outside of the arena, triggering a triangle or square symbol. Triangles are conals from the symbol, squares are half arena AoEs. Lastly, the arrows on the ground will dictate how the rope sections will rotate. Don't panic or get overwhelmed, as these are far less random as they first seem. And if you can deal with the first one, the rest are easy. First, Purgation. From the centre, orientate yourself so the centre rope is in front of you. Rotate in the direction of the centre arrows 1 place. In your head, now follow the rope to the edge. Lastly, look at the outer circle. This does not affect your rope's path, rather it rotates the symbols on the outside. If the new symbol will be a square, move to the opposing side of the boss. If triangle, stand either side of the triangle. After the triangle or rectangle has gone off, return to the centre for second Purgation. Simply locate the V made by the centre ropes and stand below the intersecting point. Shattering Heat. Tank Buster. No swaps needed. As Shattering Heat is being cast, move to your group's pre-assigned side. E.g. if Group 1 is East, stand on the east side of the boss's hitbox. Arch Inferno. Rotating AoEs around the boss. Circle AoEs will start to appear on opposing sides and rotate clockwise. From your pre-positioned spot, each group can quickly move to their closest safe space and rotate clockwise with the AoEs. As you rotate, you get 2 of 3 options. A stack as a 4, spreads, ranged and healers spread to the edge of the arena, melee and tanks closer to the boss, or duo stacks, where healer and range stack towards the edge, and tank and melees towards the boss. As the second stack or spread casts, ensure you register where you are in relation to your pre-assigned spread spot. As soon as the second stack or spread resolves, run centre and then move out to your spread spot once safe to do so. Radial Flagration. Conals from boss, stay on your spread spot to bait. Third Purgation. Position centre again as soon as the rings appear for best view. Identify the line from the centre, which will be a straight line all the way to the edge after rotation, and stand either side of the triangle which it will trigger in the outer circle. Fourth Purgation. Identify which of the 2 lines will be a straight line after the rotation. Count 3 slices in the opposite direction of the rotation from that line, and the 3rd slice will be safe. Adds. Burn the centre large ad first, ideally followed by the southeast and west and then the remaining. Tanks should stand by the northeast and northwest ads, ready to intercept tank busters from the other players. And when DPS get purple tethers, they should position south of the connected ads to fire incoming conals away from the boss. Blazing Rapture. Big raid wide, centre for heals. Straight after the raid wide, go and stand in your spread spot. Note you will use your spread spot on the spot next to you which has the same colour waymarkers as your spots to resolve. Flamespire Brand. Mentally prep to read your debuffs. Everyone will get this orange circle. Ignore it. You're only interested in whether you get this flare marker or not. As soon as the cast bar finishes, you'll get your debuffs. If you get the flare, be ready to spread, then spread again. If you don't get it, you will stack center, then spread. Working as follows. First, cardinal/intercardinal arrows will spin under the boss. Where they land will be a large cross AoE. If it is pointed towards you, rotate to the other waymarker, which is the same colour as yours. Allow this to go off. Second, if you have the flare marker, run to the edge of the arena where the cross marker just went off. If you don't have the flare marker, run dead centre of the arena. Lastly, as soon as the stack spread goes off, run back to your spread spot for the final spread. Now stay rooted to your spread spot for the next couple of mechanics. Inferno. From now on, if the boss's wing is out, then this raid wide will be a spread, but you're already safely in your spread spot, so prepare to read the next cast bar. Scouting Signal/Scouting Ring. Staying in your spread spot, if Signal is being cast, move outside the boss's hitbox. If Ring, move slightly inside of it. As it goes off, be ready to watch the direction of the boss's hitbox. Sweeping Immolation. Possibly the biggest PF wall. As soon as Signal Ring goes off, the boss will reorientate. Run behind him. If the boss has this large symbol, the group needs to stack. If it's lots of symbols, then it's a spread. Also, there'll be line AoEs where the previous attacks were baited. Use the way markers to understand where the safe spots are, i.e. the areas between the markers should be safe. If the big symbol, then the group should stack together in one of the safe slices behind the boss. If spread, then you'll need pre-assigned spots with 2 players within each slice behind the boss, usually with tanks and melees closer and ranged and healers towards the edge of the arena, meaning 1 DPS and 1 support in each slice. If you get behind the boss as soon as possible and then reposition your camera to look at the boss, then it can help getting your bearings to find your allocated spot. Dual fire. Very large tank busters. Tanks resolve north, ensuring they don't hit each other and the rest of the group south. 5th Purgation. Face in the direction of the boss. Boss relative, the east side of the northeast rope will always be safe. Stand in the outer circle. 6th Purgation. Stand in the V in the centre. To one side of the V will be a straight line. The slice beyond this line will be safe. Stay close to the centre after, but get into a little space so you're ready to count the balls above your head. Flamespire Claw/Limit Cut Balls. Large cleaves will go off in the order of the number of balls above people's heads. If you have a 1 or a 2, then you're up first, so be ready. 1 should go northwest and 2 northeast. Here, 1 uses the 1-way marker and 2 uses the 2. Everyone else should be south outside the boss's hitbox, watching and counting for their turn, i.e. when number 1 gets hit, they will run south and the person who had 3 needs to run to take their place. Likewise, the person with 4 will take 2th place northeast. When 3's hit, 5 will take their place, and so on. Additionally, the players who have the 7 and 8 should start the mechanic behind the boss, but inside its hitbox, which will attract tethers. After 1 and 2 have been hit, they need to take the tethers by intercepting them. When 3 and 4 are hit, they take the tethers, and so on. Once you've had your hit and the tethers, you're done and can just move south to wait out the rest. The moment the 8th and last hit goes off, run to your spread spot. Inferno. Wings out, so spread explosions. We get another scouting signal/ring into sweeping Immolation, and from this point the mechanics are on repeat. All done. I'm trying out new approaches to guides, so if this format is helpful, I'd hugely appreciate if you like and subscribe to complete the duty.